Most men live their entire lives blind to the truth. They walk into bars, into coffee shops, into offices, surrounded by women sending out signals, clear, powerful, almost screaming for attention. And yet, these men remain deaf and blind to it all. They don't see the hidden signs. They don't hear the silent language. And because of that, they lose again and again. Here's the brutal reality. Women will never walk up to you and say, "I want you." That's not how female psychology works. Instead, desire is hidden, coded, disguised. It comes out through micro-expressions, subtle gestures, and unconscious behaviors, a quick glance that lasts too long, a tilt of the head that exposes the neck, a laugh that feels just a little too invested. None of this is random. Every single one of these actions is part of a language older than words, and yet most men ignore it. They shrug it off. They miss their chance. Think about how many times you've been in a situation where you later realized, wait, was she interested in me? That's not an accident. That's not your imagination. That was her desire, silently knocking at your door, and you never opened it. And this ignorance costs men dearly. Because in the modern world, attraction doesn't forgive mistakes. If you fail to recognize these signs, another man will. If you misinterpret her signals, you'll look desperate, weak, and she'll lose respect for you instantly. But if you learn to see what others don't, you hold a power that most men will never have. You gain access to the hidden layer of reality, the layer where women tell you everything without ever speaking a word. This is not about tricks. This is not about pickup lines or cheap tactics. This is about decoding the primal psychology of women. About recognizing the ancient, subconscious language that every man is supposed to understand, but very few ever master. And here's the urgency. If you don't learn this, you will keep living in the dark. You'll keep losing opportunities, watching women slip away, never understanding why. But once you know these signals, once you can read them with clarity, you will never look at a woman the same way again. So today, we're going to expose the truth. The 7 hidden signs of female desire, the ones women cannot hide, even if they wanted to. The ones that separate the blind majority of men from the rare few who can truly see. Get ready. Because after this, you'll never miss them again. Attraction is never random. It might look spontaneous, like sparks flying out of nowhere, but beneath the surface lies a silent machinery built over thousands of years of evolution. Women don't just decide to act in subtle ways. They are guided by deep biological programming, hidden instincts that operate long before logic or words ever come into play. Evolutionary psychology makes this brutally clear. For women, attraction has always been tied to survival. Centuries ago, choosing the wrong partner meant danger, fewer resources, weaker protection, and even the risk of death. That's why female desire developed layers of secrecy. Instead of shouting desire openly, women learned to express interest indirectly, testing silently, filtering carefully, protecting themselves from the wrong choice. What we see today, those fleeting looks, the nervous laugh, the way she tilts her body are just modern echoes of this ancient survival code. In psychology, this is called indirect signaling. Rather than saying, "I want you," a woman lets her subconscious speak for her. Micro-expressions, body language, vocal shifts, each is a clue. But here's the catch. These signals are not designed for everyone to see. They are designed for the few men sharp enough to pay attention. Men who notice them stand out as different, more perceptive, more attractive. Men who miss them fade into the background, forgotten, invisible. This is why so many men get confused. They focus on words, on what a woman says, while ignoring what her psychology is screaming through action. A woman might tell you she's not that interested, but her eyes lock on you when you walk into the room. She may pretend to be busy, but her body shifts closer every time you speak. Words are camouflage. Signals are the truth. And here's the secret. Once you understand this psychological code, you gain an advantage most men never will. Because now you're not just listening, you're decoding. You're reading the hidden script running beneath every interaction. You're accessing the raw language of attraction itself. Think of it like this. Most men play the dating game blindfolded. They stumble, they guess, they hope. But the man who learns psychology takes the blindfold off. Suddenly, every gesture, every glance, every shift in tone becomes visible. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. That's why this isn't guesswork. This isn't superstition. This is science. Studies in human behavior, in evolutionary biology, in social psychology, they all converge on the same truth. Attraction is coded in signals, not words. And the man who understands this no longer lives at the mercy of chance. He steps into the hidden layer of reality, where women reveal everything without ever intending to. This is the context you need before we dive into the 7 signs. Without it, they look like random behaviors. With it, you'll understand them as they truly are, a psychological language carved into the female mind by thousands of years of evolution. And once you speak this language, you'll never be the same man again. Now we enter the core of this guide, the 7 hidden signs of female desire. At first glance, they may look innocent, even meaningless. But once you know what to look for, you'll see the truth that most men never do. 1. Touching the neck or playing with hair definition, a subconscious display of vulnerability and exposure. Example, during conversation, she brushes her hair aside, exposing her neck, or she keeps twirling a lock of hair while staring at you. Consequence: if you dismiss it as just a habit, you'll miss one of the clearest invitations nature designed. 2. Mirroring your movements definition. Her body subtly copies yours without her realizing it. Example, you lean back, she leans back. You cross your arms, seconds later she does the same. Consequence: ignoring this means you'll overlook one of the strongest indicators of unconscious attraction. 3. Lingering eye contact with a quick break definition. She looks at you longer than normal, then looks away fast to avoid being caught. Example, in a group, her eyes find you, then dart away, but minutes later she looks again. Consequence: if you assume it's coincidence, you'll miss the fact that she's silently choosing you out of everyone else. 4. Playful teasing or challenging behavior definition. She invests emotional energy in pushing your buttons. Example, she jokes about your clothes, challenges your opinion, or tries to provoke a reaction. Consequence: many men think this is rejection, but it's often attraction in disguise. Misreading it means walking away when she's actually pulling you closer. 5. Unnecessary physical closeness definition. She finds excuses to invade your space. Example, at a party, she stands shoulder to shoulder when the room isn't crowded. She brushes past you when there's plenty of space. Consequence: if you ignore this, she assumes you're not interested, and the signal will vanish forever. 6. Voice pitch shifts definition. Women's voices subtly rise when speaking to someone they're attracted to. Example, her tone becomes lighter, softer, almost melodic when addressing you compared to others. Consequence: if you miss this, you'll stay blind to one of the most primal cues of feminine desire. 7. Feet pointing toward you definition. The body betrays focus and attention, no matter what the face says. Example, she's in a group conversation, but her feet stay angled toward you the entire time. Consequence: if you don't notice, you'll assume she's uninterested when in reality, her body is giving away the secret her words never will. These 7 signs may look small, almost insignificant. But in the language of female psychology, they scream volumes. Each one is a piece of the puzzle. Alone, they may be subtle. Together, they form undeniable evidence of hidden desire. The tragedy? Most men will never see them. But now you can? Now that you know the 7 hidden signs, the question becomes, what do you do with them? This is where most men fail. They either do nothing standing frozen, letting the moment vanish, or they do too much, overreacting, smothering the signal with desperation. Both mistakes kill attraction instantly. That's why this isn't just knowledge. It's survival. When you recognize a sign, your first mission is to stay calm. The biggest error is thinking, she's interested, I need to make a move right now. That urgency exposes weakness. Instead, treat every sign as confirmation, not a green light for reckless action. Desire thrives in tension, in subtlety. Break the tension too fast and the attraction evaporates. Here's the rule: observe, confirm, then respond. If you see one signal, ignore it. If you see 2, pay attention. But if you see three or more stacked together, that's when you act. This is how you separate real desire from coincidence. What to do: maintain composure, hold your frame. If she leans closer, don't jump. Let the closeness grow naturally. Reward, don't chase. If she teases you, respond with confidence, not defensiveness. A calm smile beats a nervous explanation. Mirror with control. If she mirrors you, acknowledge it silently, but don't mirror back instantly. That exposes awareness. Lead instead. What not to do: don't overinterpret single signs. A woman fixing her hair once isn't proof. Reacting too strongly makes you look delusional. Don't verbalize the signal. Never say, "I saw you looking at me," or "you touched your hair because you like me." The second you speak the code, the magic dies. Don't rush escalation. Desire is fragile. Move too fast and she feels exposed, unsafe. Attraction flips into discomfort. Think of this as battlefield awareness. A soldier who panics when he sees movement in the distance gets himself killed. The trained warrior waits, confirms, then strikes at the perfect moment. Dating is no different. Women constantly send out signals, but they're also watching how you respond. If your reaction is balanced, measured, confident, you separate yourself from every other man she's tested. This is why we call it a survival manual. Because in modern dynamics, men who misread signals pay the price. They become the nice guy trapped in the friend zone, or the creep who misfires and ruins everything. But men who read correctly, who act with patience and precision, they become rare, desired, respected. So remember the formula: see, confirm, respond, see the signal. Confirm it with others, then respond calmly, never with neediness, never with desperation. When you do this, you step into the role women are secretly waiting for, the man who understands her without her ever having to speak. Now you see what other men can't. You're no longer blind to the secret language women use when desire takes control. Those gestures that once looked casual, meaningless, invisible, now they reveal everything. You've stepped out of the darkness. You're not just another man guessing, hoping, fumbling. You are now trained to see what 90% of men will always ignore. And this is a transformation. Because from this moment forward, you'll walk into every room differently. You'll notice the way she shifts closer, the way her eyes betray her words, the way her body whispers what her mouth will never say. You won't be blind anymore. You won't be passive anymore. You'll have the awareness that separates the ordinary from the exceptional. But here's the truth you need to understand: not every signal is desire. Some signs don't come from attraction, they come from control. There's a darker side of female psychology, one that has nothing to do with wanting you, and everything to do with testing you, manipulating you, even breaking you down without you realizing it. Those behaviors are subtle, dangerous, and far more costly if you ignore them. And that's exactly what we're going to uncover next. Because survival isn't just about recognizing attraction, it's about defending yourself against manipulation. If you think missing a sign of desire costs you opportunities, wait until you see what missing a test of control can cost you. That's the difference between freedom and chains, between strength and submission. So here's what you do now: subscribe. Stay here. Because this is the only place where you'll learn the secret psychology that keeps you alive and powerful in modern dating. This is the place where you'll train to survive, to recognize, to dominate the game that's happening all around you, even when others don't see it. You've unlocked the first layer of the code. The next is even darker. Don't miss it.